So you've been betrayed. You've been counted out. You weren't invited. You were unfriended. You were blocked. That's perfect. It's perfect because that means you're no longer distracted. It's perfect because now you can focus on yourself. Now you can focus on what you're supposed to be doing. Ain't nothing wrong with having friends and being in relationships. But let's just be honest. Sometimes those things can be distractions. Because you can get caught up into it so much that you forget about self. And a lot of people do. There has to be a balance. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't understand that you cannot forget about self. You always have to make sure you're good. You always have to make sure you're straight. And you always have to make sure you stay focused. If who you're dealing with, whether it be romantic relationship, friendship, hell, even some family, and you find yourself to be more focused on those things and people more than you are on yourself, they are distractions. Not saying you gotta cut everybody off, but at some point you gotta know when to draw the line. At some point you gotta know when it's time to step back and continue focusing on you. Years ago in my life, it used to hurt my feelings when I wasn't invited. Somebody didn't want to be my friend. Somebody didn't want to be with me. Because I didn't understand back then what it truly meant. I took it all too personal. I was looking at it the wrong way. And I was failing to realize that I was so focused on that I wasn't focused on myself at all. I put too much emphasis on those people. I valued them too much to the point where I had failed to realize at the time that they didn't even value me the same. They wasn't holding on to me the same way I was holding on to them. Wasn't worried about me. I had to realize though that I was in a perfect position to win. I was in a perfect position to focus on myself. I wasn't distracted anymore. So if you've experienced any of those things, people counting you out, people betraying you, unfriending you, blocking you, ignoring you, whatever the case may be, thank them. Because they put you in a position to win. those things happen to me so much in my life that I learned to adapt to that shit. Not saying that there aren't times where it's uncomfortable. Not saying that at times the outcome isn't what you want it to be. But it's very much necessary. Compared to other people who aren't counted out, who got somebody in their life, who got a full circle of friends, they're distracted. At least you ain't got to worry about what somebody doing behind your back. You don't have to worry about impressing anybody. Focus on yourself. Use that loneliness, the singleness, use those as opportunities to focus and work on self. Become your greatest self. I feel like a lot of times people know to work on self, but at the same time they're afraid to just focus on self because they worried about what they would miss out on. They worried about certain people walking out their life or walking away from them. When truth be told, fuck them. If people walk away from you or they don't stick around, they weren't meant to be there no way. And you really ain't missing out on nothing. People out here still doing the same shit they was doing 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They ain't grow at all. So you're really not missing out on anything. But I can tell you, when you really focus on self and you become the greatest version of yourself, everything else that's meant for you, whether it be people or opportunities, it will come. When the time is right, it'll come.